Good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is staying dry this Monday morning. Rain to start our Monday and to start our work week, and that's going to be an issue as we head throughout most of your Monday. So again, off and on, fairly steady rain expected for especially a lot of the eastern half of the state through the day today. It won't be until this evening that we're finally done with the rain. Again, we need it. And again, the good news is all of this moisture is going to be included on the drought monitor that we see released later this week, and again, hopefully going to be making another pretty good dent in those rainfall deficits that we've had across the state. So we're going to be talking a lot about the moisture that we're going to expect as we head through the day today. After today, not a whole lot of chances for moisture as we head through this week, but a couple things that we do want to talk about, especially through the middle parts of the work week, and then temperature is going to be generally maybe a few degrees below normal as we head through, again, the second half of the week and into the upcoming weekend. So starting off with a look at your weather almanac. Again, these numbers from yesterday, 57 and 32. Overall, it was a pretty nice Sunday to round out the weekend. Again, it was dry through the weekend, and you can see through the month just a little over 2 inches of moisture, which again is above where we should be. Again, we only average about 1.25 inches in November for our precipitation. So again, you'll notice for the year, a little over 26 inches, and the precipitation deficit is about 1.5 inches. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if we cut off about 2/3 of that as we head through the day today. If you look at the snowfall numbers, still no snow yet this year. Again, 1.5 inches below average already for our snowfall numbers here in Lincoln. We had looked last week. You'd heard me talk about some signs, some signals that we could potentially see some snow this week across the state, but that does not look like the case anymore. Again, that is why I said to make sure you check back with the forecast, and that forecast was going to change 100 different ways before we finally got here. And again, late last week, the models, again, which had both models, long-range models, had some snow in the area. Again, basically went a different direction with that. But we are going to be dealing with the rain as we head through the day today. So if we check out your weather headlines, again, a wet Monday, and then turning breezy and windy as we head Tuesday, Wednesday, and then into the day on Thursday. I especially think Wednesday is going to be a day we're going to be dealing with a lot of wind across the area. And then some cooler weather is going to settle in for the second half of the week into the upcoming weekend. Not cold by any means, but I think numbers that are at or just a few degrees below normal for mid to late November standards. So if you look at the observed precipitation so far, again, rain started early this morning across the southeastern corner of the state, and these are the numbers as of 9 a.m. This goes back over the last 24 hours, but again, really this is just over the last couple hours. And already at the Lincoln Airport, we're up to 1/4 inch, right around the same number in Beatrice as well as Hebron, 1/10 inch in York, just under 0.2 inch in Nebraska City and Falls City, and we're going to continue to see this steady light to moderate rain, I think, as we head through most of the morning and into the afternoon. There could be an occasional rumble of thunder out there, but I think for the most part we're just going to be dealing with a fairly steady rain. So if we look at the rainfall numbers in the Lincoln Metro at the Tempest stations, again, and these numbers are updating every minute or so, and on our map here they're updating every 5 minutes. They do tend to overestimate just a bit as rain is falling, which again it is right now, and then they do eventually kind of settle back down a little bit. So these numbers might be just a few tenths, a few hundredths of an inch high as we start here. But again, I think they're pretty close. Again, at the Lincoln Airport, it's 1/4 inch, and for most areas around town, it's between about 1/4 and 1/3 inch. So again, fairly widespread, fairly uniform moisture falling across much of the Lincoln Metro. At the 1011 studios at our Tempest weather station, 2,800 7-inch. Again, I have about 1/3 inch at my place. So again, fairly uniform, fairly steady rain out there right now. And again, mostly light to moderate rain throughout the day today. So we look at the precipitation potential. This is through noon. Today, again, you can see right around anywhere from 1/3 up to 1 inch of moisture, with the highest amounts in the far southeastern corner of the state. Rain then is going to continue as we head through the afternoon and evening. I think by 10 o'clock tonight, rainfall is done, but you can see the eastern third of the state, we're generally looking between 1 inch to 1.5 inches for most locations. Some high-end amounts, maybe approaching 2 inches, can't be ruled out. And again, you can see quite a bit of moisture for us here in the eastern half of the state. There will be a pretty tight tight cutoff. Again, you can see Kearney, our in-house model here, has right around an inch. In Lexington, it has less than 2/10 of an inch, and it's got nothing for North Platte. So again, unfortunately, western Nebraska going to be missing out on the moisture as we head through the day today, but the eastern half of the state picking up some very needed moisture. Look at some of the 6 main weather models that we look at here in the building in terms of rainfall potential. Again, for Lincoln over the course of the next 24 hours. And again, you can see they're all right there in that about inch to an inch and a half range. And so we feel pretty comfortable with that inch to an inch and a half, which again would be a record for today. The precip record for the Lincoln Airport for today's date, 68 hundredths. And again, we're already about a third of the way there. And again, it's just 9 o'clock in the morning. If you look at November precipitation over the course of the last 10 years, again, really 2015 is the only comparable year when we had just under 2 inches of precipitation that year. Again, last couple of years, it's been half an inch or less. So again, seeing some really good moisture. Again, we already talked about it, but 213 for the month so far. Again, you add on the quarter of an inch we've already had today, you're already up to almost 240 for the month. Our 30-year average is about $1.30 for precip. So again, well above that so far this month, and we will likely, again, depending on how much we get today, end up on this list. These are our wettest Novembers on record. Again, those records go back to 1887. Wettest November we ever had was just over 7 inches of precipitation. That was back in 1909. I don't think we're going to quite get there, but again, I think we could end up right around that 3 1/4, maybe 3 1/2 mark by the time it's all said and done today, which would put us in the top 10, which again, we need the moisture. Again, we'd been pretty dry there for several months. Again, certainly not necessarily expecting November to be the month that we make up a lot of that moisture, but that's just been the case so far over the past couple of weeks with an active pattern. So you look at sky views across the state. Again, things are dry but cloudy out in North Platte, but you head into Grand Island and Hastings, have some fog and light rain, again leading to some reduced visibility. Then again, obviously here in Lincoln, you can see the raindrops falling from our new Lincoln Skyview camera here at 40th and Vine. And again, you have a look down there on Vine Street. Streets are going to be wet throughout the day today. So again, a little bit more stopping distance going to be required. 47 right now at the airport, 46 here in Midtown Lincoln, a light northeast wind. And again, visibility at the airport checking in at 4 miles as of the top of the hour. But again, this will be an issue as we head throughout the day today. So give yourself a little bit of extra time out there on the roads. Temperatures on the Lincoln Tempest stations, again, generally sitting in the middle 40s, about 46 or 47 for most locations. If you zoom out, look at a statewide view, again, we have temperatures currently running the range anywhere from the low 20s in Alliance right now to the upper 50s, where it's 58 degrees right now in Falls City. So again, low 20s to right around 60 degrees. So a pretty good spread this morning across the state for our temperatures. Winds, light but variable. Again, these will be an issue as we head over the next several days. And here's a look at the satellite and radar picture. Again, we can see that widespread rainfall surging up from the south, and again, there might be some pockets here or there where we see maybe some lighter rainfall for a brief period or maybe a really brief break, but for the most part, I think we're going to be seeing a fairly steady rain throughout most of the day today as moisture continues to surge northward as an area of low pressure continues to spin its way through the area. So again, right now, a lot of light to moderate rainfall across much of southern Nebraska and eastern Nebraska. Again, into western and southwestern Nebraska, I don't think those folks are just going to pick up quite as much as we head through the day today. So if we zoom out, look at a regional view, again, you can see all that moisture that's still down to our south. You can see some dry air and some drier pockets in a south central parts of Kansas. That eventually is going to work its way up into our neck of the woods. So again, I think by later this afternoon into the early part of the evening, we might see begin to see some breaks in that rainfall. So again, not going to necessarily last all day today, but again, through a good chunk of the day today. So again, a lot of moisture going to be falling across the plains as we head over the next 12 hours or so. If you zoom out, look at a national view, again, you can see there's even a severe thunderstorm warning down across parts of Texas. Have had a tornado watch across parts of Oklahoma with this system already this morning. So again, a dynamic system for mid-November. Have some snow showers on the board as you head across the mountain areas, across parts of Wyoming into Idaho. So again, some fairly active weather this morning across the middle parts of the country. If you look at the weather alerts, that tornado watch has since expired, but still have flood watches down across parts of Oklahoma. You have quite a bit of stuff going on as you head across, again, the Pacific Northwest and the West Coast. Some winter storm warnings there, some freeze warnings up in the high country. Here in the middle parts of the country, again, we have the flood watches down to our south, and we also have some wind advisories across parts of eastern Kansas. We also have high wind watches across the Dakotas. That's for the day on Wednesday, when, again, we're expecting quite a bit of wind. Those high wind watches, they're looking at wind gusts as high as 60 to 65 miles an hour being possible as we head into the day on Wednesday. Don't think we'll necessarily see winds quite that strong here in Lincoln for the day on Wednesday, but again, we could be seeing winds still gusting 40 to maybe 50 miles an hour for the day on your Wednesday. If we look at Skycast, again, you can see our in-house model, I think, doing a pretty good job depicting real-world conditions out there as of 10 a.m. And again, that's a lot of moisture surging northward out of Kansas into the eastern half of the state. That's going to continue as we head through the morning. As we head into the afternoon, we'll start to see, again, you can see some breaks there, some drier air maybe filters in, but again, one last kind of shorter round of showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm or two possible as we head late this afternoon into this evening. I think by 10 o'clock tonight, again, outside of the northeastern corner of the state, most areas should be seeing moisture come to an end with winds swinging around to the west and to the northwest and becoming breezy on the back end of this low pressure system. And then as we head Monday into Tuesday, that low spins away. We're on the back end, so we see west and northwest winds continue, generally dry conditions, though, are expected as we head into the day on your Tuesday. I do think we'll see mostly sunny skies through, I think, for the eastern half of the state through most of the day. There will be some clouds, though, that filter in as we head into the afternoon and evening. But again, generally dry conditions for your Tuesday. And then into the day Wednesday, another quick hitting system slides through the area. That's going to kick up that wind. So again, winds on Wednesday out of the west and northwest, sustained probably anywhere between 20 and 30 miles an hour, and again, gusting maybe as high as 40 to 50 miles an hour through the day on your Wednesday, to go along with mainly sunny skies, cool conditions. Again, so Wednesday will be a day we'll want to watch out for as well. High temperatures today, again, kind of a weird day. It's upper 50s, low to mid 60s for the southeastern corner of the state. Those are temperatures we've likely already seen this morning. So more than likely, we'll see temperatures continue to stay fairly steady for us in the 40s with the clouds and rain as we head through the balance of the day today. So again, one of those weird days where many of us have likely already seen our high temperatures. Low temperatures tonight falling into the 20s, 30s, and low 40s from west to east. In Lincoln, we'll say around 40 degrees, 36 in Grand Island, 32 in North Platte, and then high temperatures on Tuesday, close to normal for the eastern half of the state. Really close to normal for most of the state. Low 40s to low 50s from west to east. We'll say 53 in Lincoln, 49 in Grand Island and Hastings, 48 in North Platte, dry. And then Wednesday morning, and again, low 20s to low 30s. I'll say 31 in Lincoln, 30 in Grand Island, 26 in North Platte. Wednesday temperatures, again, close to normal, but anywhere from the low 40s to the low 50s. Coolest readings in the northeastern corner of the state, warmest readings across the southern sections of the state. Thursday morning lows will be chilly in the upper teens to upper 20s across the state, including 25 in Lincoln, 25 in Grand Island, 21 in North Platte, and then high temperatures on Thursday, a little bit below normal, upper 30s to low to mid 40s for the eastern half of the state, with some 50s across the west and the southwest. 7-day forecast for Lincoln looks like this. Today, again, rain throughout most of the day today. Isolated thunderstorm can't be ruled out. Breezy and then windy as we head Tuesday into Wednesday, staying breezy on Thursday, and you can see then Wednesday and beyond into the upcoming weekend, temperatures hanging out in the mid to upper 40s, which is close to normal for this time of year, but again, maybe a touch below normal there at times, and again, generally dry outside of the day today, but again, we're going to see quite a bit of moisture for the day today. So if you look at the 10-day forecast for select cities across the state, again, not a lot of 50s on the board there, but again, our normal highs are right around 50 this time of year, so falling into the 40s, so again, staying fairly seasonal for the most part as we head over the course of the next week to 10 days, with temperatures generally ranging from the mid 40s to maybe the low to mid 50s on the warm end. Again, keeping an eye on sort of early next week as temperatures could be in the upper 30s to low to mid 40s across the state. Rainfall chances again very high today. Again, already raining for many areas, but then generally dry as we head through the rest of the week into the weekend. And again, keeping an eye on maybe early part of the week next week for some additional chances for moisture coming back into the forecast. 8 to 14-day temperature outlook looks like this. For the most part, no clear signals across Nebraska. There's a sliver of the northwestern corner of the state that the Climate Prediction Center says would favor below normal temperatures. Above average temperatures favored as you head down to our south, southwest, as well as southeast. Across the Four Corners and then across the southern plains. Precipitation outlook, again, for the western half of the state, according to the Climate Prediction Center, that pattern would favor above average precipitation. Again, this is November 25th through December 1st. No clear signals for us here in the eastern sections of the state. So again, rain is going to be the big story as we head through the day today. So again, if you have to go out, if you have to be out and about, again, keep the umbrella handy, keep the rain gear handy. Otherwise, you're going to get pretty wet. Again, unfortunately, here at my house, we're going to be dealing with more mud. Dogs bringing the mud back into the house, which is, again, is unfortunate, especially after we just gave them a bath this weekend. But, it is what it is. But, again, keep the rain gear handy through the day today. Fairly steady, light to moderate rain. Again, some breaks into the afternoon. I think rainfall for Lincoln probably ending 5, 6, 7 o'clock this evening. Things drying out but becoming breezy to windy then as we head over the next several days. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, keep it tuned to 1011. We'll keep you updated on the forecast as we head throughout the day today. But until next time, again, hope everyone stays dry and hope everyone has a nice Monday.